This week's Time magazine cover story shatters all previous estimates of the magnitude of this country's immigration crisis. In their astonishing report on the cover of Time magazine this week, America's Border, Who Left the Door Open, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalists Donald Bartlett and Jim Steele report 3 million illegal aliens will enter the United States this year. 3 million illegal aliens entering the country this year. Their special cover story investigation also uncovered startling information that demonstrates our nation's borders are now more porous than before the terrorist attacks of September 11th. Joining me now, Jim Steele, Time magazine editor-at-large. Jim, first, congratulations on an extraordinary story. Let's begin with this number of 3 million. On this broadcast, we have been reporting for some time 1 million a year. This is you style it an invasion. 3 million is exactly that.
It's a very good question, and I'll tell you how we came to this. Basically, this year they're going to apprehend more than 1 million illegal aliens, largely on the southern border. When you interview law enforcement people down there, border patrol, sheriff's office, policemen, and ranchers who are dealing with this day in and day out, week in and week out, the basic percentage they talk about, for every one they apprehend, basically 3 more get through. You'll talk to some people down there and they'll say it's 6, 7, 8 times as much. We decided to go with basically the conservative estimate. And the people who face this day in and day out, it's just astonishing. I mean, the ranchers who see X number of people, let's say, apprehended on their property, many times that more go through, leave trash, destroy livestock, create other kinds of problems.
The double-page picture in your magazine, in the report, of the litter and the trash. I can't commend this story too strongly to you because it is revelatory. You mentioned, it was at the Ladd Ranch, 14,000-acre ranch in Arizona. What those people are putting up with is incredible.
My colleague Don Bartlett visited that ranch and talked to John Ladd, and what he saw was the trash that accumulates, the fact the man's fences are cut basically almost every day or several times a week. His cattle wander into Mexico, Mexican cattle wander into his land. He spends a huge amount of time now simply repairing his land that his family has had for generations. And you see that up and down the border.
Why has Arizona become become the major crossing point?
Apparently what happened is they did crack down somewhat in California and to some extent in Texas, and this became a much more appealing border. Unlike Texas, where you have the river, for the most part in Arizona it's simply crossing a barbed wire fence or something like that, so it's quite easy to get in there, and it's a 350-mile border. That the Border Patrol, as hard as it works down there, and by the way, we found many hard-working Border Patrol agents who are very upset by this whole process. So you can't blame them for this. It's just a matter of manpower, resources, and the fact there's just too many people.
And we want to put up, if we may, we've got a number of graphics based on your reporting that we want to show. If we could have that first graphic, please, to show the audience. This showing the immigration into the United States, rising from 1 million to over 3 million. And the second graphic, which I think is astonishing here, the number of fines against employers of illegal aliens. As you see there, a 99% decline over the course of a decade. As you point out in this reporting. Big business is a big part of the problem.
Big business is a big part of the problem, and basically Washington doesn't want to clamp down in that area. As long as people know that there's a job for them in this country, that if they get across that border and that there's something waiting for them, they're going to come. But if employers know that that is a serious offense, that it's not going to be tolerated, then they're not going to employ those people, and therefore some of that demand will dry up.
The question, as you point out in your reporting, the impact on lower wage levels, jobs, now and rising now to middle class jobs as well. The impact on our economy, the so-called externalities, big business at fault. Why isn't Congress, and you point out it's Democrats and Republicans, it's this White House, the previous, and those before it, going back to 1986. Why in the world, with everyone concerned about this issue, the impact it's having on our society, our culture, our environment, why no action?
I can't tell you how many times we ask ourselves that exact same question, and the answer we've come up with largely is that basically there is a disconnect. I mean, the political powers in Washington don't recognize that this is a very, very serious issue. We're hoping when they see this story, which isn't just a matter of folks coming in for jobs, but folks coming in from other countries hostile to the U.S. or coming in the midst of it, maybe they will see the gravity of it for once anyway.
And the fact that the Department of Homeland Security has been saying that our borders are now secure after September 11th.
I suggest anybody go down there and walk that border in Arizona, and they will find out just exactly how secure our borders are, and that is not the case, and it's gotten much worse this year.
A compelling report, a fascinating, revelatory report. Jim Steele, editor-at-large, Time Magazine. Good to have you here.
Nice to be with you, Lou.
Still ahead, American Jobs, an important new documentary on the impact the exporting of American jobs is having on our middle-class communities all across the country. All this week, we'll be featuring segments of this documentary. We begin tonight with a town devastated by outsourcing. Stay with us.